Yo, what's going on?
What's going on, y'all?
What's the dealio?
Yeah, man. It's basically a three-way podcast, man. We got TRC.
Yes, sir.
Pause. We got TRC here. We got Dara, my voice with Dara.
My voice with Dara and friends. And today's friends are these other guys.
Yes.
Yes.
No wine today. We have
Right. We
Diddy
had.
Bop.
Okay. So on my show, I drink wine with every episode. But today, they made me something called
The Diddy Bop.
the Diddy Bop.
Nice.
And I haven't tasted yet. As you can see, their cups are almost empty. I wanted to taste it on the actual show so I can let y'all know what the hell this tastes like.
I'm waiting.
We waiting.
Oh, it's kind of candy-ish.
Yes.
I like it. It tastes like a little candy.
Yeah, it's
What's
like a
in
Jolly
it?
Rancher.
Tell me what's in it.
I can't. It's only on camera. I'll tell you off the camera.
Afterwards, we can taste.
I'm going to tell y'all what's in it.
We got Bang Bang Boomerang here.
Oh, yeah, it's Bang
Welcome
Bang
to the
Boom.
world.
Represent Welcome to the Wall.
Welcome to the squad. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Wild Podcast. You know what we do? We play games on that pod ass, but, you know, we out here.
That's what's up.
Hot ass.
Yeah, I say it from time to time.
I think his drink's starting to kick in.
No. This me all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
I can't help it.
All right.
Dyslexia.
Yeah, so today what we're going to do, we got a soundtrack of our life episode.
Yeah.
So we all came together, well, we all separately, put together a list of songs that
Right.
describe moments in our life. Random moments, whether it be heartbreak, passion, love, anything that you could think of. And Dara would like to go first, right?
I would.
Hey.
Thank you. So my first song, I don't even need to look at my phone for this one. It was actually Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely?
Okay.
And I
Okay,
can't
all right.
sing, but I imagine that's the song that was being played in my parents' head when I came out of my mom's vagina.
Whoa.
And
That's
I
what's up.
just think that they looked at me and was like, isn't she lovely? Like, even though I have an older sister, I think when I came, it was like, oh, this is perfect. We can stop here. So that's how I felt. Like, I brought loveliness to the family.
You
And
were
I
the
still to this
youngest?
day feel like that.
You were the youngest?
No, I'm not. I have 3 little brothers that's under me. So, like I said, I think they had my sister and they was like, oh, we still didn't get it quite right. And so then when they had me, they was
Shouts
like, okay,
to
now
the
we
sister.
now,
What's up?
now I can have some boys. So it was like everything after me is boys, all boys. I'm telling you, it was like I came and this is
It
it.
was correct.
This is it. This is
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Does anybody else have a birth song? Anything
do
where they
not.
feel like from birth, I'm the only one that thought about
Yeah.
Yes.
how I
ain't
blessed the
think-
world.
I didn't think
I
of
didn't
a
think
bird
I'm
about
song.
pretty sure my parents made me to some Marvin Gaye. I'm pretty sure.
I don't want to think about what my parents made.
Yeah, I
me
didn't
to.
think about the sperm and egg interaction. I didn't think about the sperm and egg.
Definitely didn't think to
I'm
ask
just
that.
assuming based on what they listened to a lot of while I was, coming up.
Okay. So, well,
But
then
that's
who-
not on my list.
What's first on your list?
Well, first on my list, I got Michael Jackson, Remember the Time.
Ooh.
And that song is just
Remember
special to me because
How we
it's
Yeah.
just it's special to me because I used to dance around singing that song when I was little. I actually remember
Yeah.
it, and I think that's the song that actually started
do
my
we have
love
any
for
video
music.
of that?
No, we do not. We
Oh.
don't have none unless I
Insert
don't know
cut,
about that.
insert
Nah,
video.
we ain't got none of that. But that was the song that basically started everything for me as far as I can remember because my mom used to say I used to always sing that or MC Hammer Can't Touch This. But
Wow.
I didn't put that in my list though. But Michael
That was a
Jackson,
good one,
Remember the Time. So yeah.
Can you dance? Is the real question.
Oh, I got a video for
Yeah, there's some
I gotta
videos
have
out
some
here.
Diddy bopping.
It's documented.
It's
over
a
here.
video.
It's
So
documented.
we do have some video we can
Yes,
cut
we
to.
do.
I'm not in this video.
Karaoke video. You can add that.
It's documented.
We can add that. We have
Next,
that.
next. So what's first on your list?
Oh, okay.
Right,
Well,
while we
look, if we gonna do that, okay. Look, I don't have a birth song, so I'm gonna skip up a little bit further, and no shots at the parents or anything. But when it came to me growing up, anytime I wanted to learn anything, I didn't necessarily go to my parents. You know what I mean?
Okay.
What I did was I turned on the radio. So Radio Gaga, which she just played on
Yeah,
accident,
I kind of figured that.
which is Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Radio
what was playing?
Gaga.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The whole song is just talking about anything. He said it in the song. Anything I needed to know, I learned it from the radio. And then he just basically saying like he didn't want the radio music to start getting bad because it's what taught a lot of us growing up what we needed to know about certain situations
That's
in life.
deep. That's deep.
Wow.
So I love that song.
Yeah.
Like when I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't recall it when I was a kid It's
Right,
something
right.
I heard more mature, but I related back to that because I just know pretty much everything I learned in my teens, I learned from music. Like
Gotcha.
my parents didn't
Gotcha.
really pull me to the side and say, "Hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do that." I pretty much learned.
I think a lot of people can relate to
Everything
that
from
for real.
music.
Yeah.
I didn't learn from music. I think I learned it from like Sesame Street, Reading,
Okay,
Reading
shout out
Rainbow.
Sesame Street, yeah.
So you were more of a TV kid.
Yeah, I was TV. I was definitely TV, which is why I wanted to grow up and be an actress. But I was definitely TV. That's dope, though.
Yeah.
That's dope.
For real.
Music to me was all about dancing. That's it. It was all about dancing.
I used to get my butt whipped playing Michael Jackson while my parents was trying to sleep.
Oh,
That's the
man.
same thing you said. You couldn't listen to hip hop either, right?
Wasn't loud, my G.
Oh,
Right.
but see, it wasn't because I wasn't allowed to. It was like
Oh.
my dad had a record player, and when everybody was asleep, like maybe 1 a.m, I'd go grab the record and put it on.
Yep.
And I'd
That's
play
me to
Michael
this day as
Jackson.
an adult.
Okay.
And because I knew how to play it, I just didn't know how to control the volume.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they'd
so
wake up,
you were having on
and I
full
get my
blast.
ass whipped because I want to hear "I Want You Back" or ABCs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Bang bang, what you got?
Oh, so my first song, fun fact, I was not allowed to listen to hip hop growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Sad.
So nothing but oldies in my playlist. But I'm gonna take it back to Earth, Wind and Fire, The Reasons.
Oh,
Yo,
okay. I hear you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Had to take it back to the old school.
That might be how you got here.
Probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
Many nights I sung this to my mom. Shout out to my moms, right? So this was the song right here. You know what I'm saying? I used to like, you know what I'm saying? That was
Absolutely,
my
that was the
joint.
song.
You know what I'm saying? So before I knew hip hop, man, that was it. That was in my playlist. I was gang banging to The Reasons.
Wow.
There you go. There you have it.
Wow.
There you
Game
go.
banger 101. The reason.
Wow. I'm stunned.
You
So
gonna
you used
go
to
with-
gangbang.
No, I was joking. I was joking.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, listening to reasons while gangbanging would make me think of the reasons why I'm gangbanging. I'd be like,
So you going with second song? Are you gonna?
yeah,
Okay.
No, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So I did Pink, Family Portrait,
Okay.
for my
Okay.
adolescent
Okay.
years.
Okay.
I had to think of something that kind of encompasses the whole feeling like the family was falling apart, you know, because my dad left, my mom was doing her thing, and it was just so much going on. Like, as children, we seen a lot, and I knew my mom was going through a lot as a child. Even as a child, I knew my mom was going through a lot, and my mom and dad was fighting over me and my sister, because we was my dad's only two. Like, me and my sister are my dad's only two until this day. Like, I do have a little brother now. That's another story, another podcast.
Gotcha.
But my mom went on and made like 3 other sons afterwards. But Family Portrait by Pink. And I also put down like a little lyric that she says in the thing, because I'm thorough.
She gave you a thumbs up for that.
Yes. She said, "Can we work it out? Can we be a family? I promise I'll be better. Mommy, I'll do anything." And I think sometimes as children, when our parents like separate, we think
Think
it's
it's our
something that
fault.
we could have did.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, now that I'm a mom, though, I do feel like this actually repeated itself with my children. I have 2 daughters. I went through a divorce. And now I know my children were feeling like, well, dang, can mommy and daddy work this out? You know, I don't want 2 addresses. I don't want to go to 2 different holidays. And I don't want to have to, you know, spread my love across like this. Right. And so I feel like I kind of repeated the pattern, except for the trauma that went along with it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Aww.
That's a deep song
It's
too.
getting
by the
deep.
way.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a real
Family
deep song.
Portrait.
It is a real deep song. And Pink is a real deep artist.
Oh
period.
yes,
Hands down.
yes.
So.
I love "Give Me a Reason." Just give me a reason. I
Ooh,
love
yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
that
Look at
song's
you
great.
pulling stuff out the head.
That's what he does.
I
Get
love
used
that
to
whole album. As a matter of fact, that song, that album is fire.
Yeah. But I've loved Pink since she came out with the pink hair and everything.
Yeah.
When she did
Yeah.
I have
R&B.
There you go.
I like her. I like her better.
Wait,
when she
you're not about to
transitioned.
tell me you don't have no idea who Pink is.
I know Pink.
Okay.
Just don't know her music.
All right. Let's move on.
So you don't know. So what?
He doesn't know a lot of stuff.
You'll
I gotta
know
hear
it
it.
when
I
you
gotta
hear
hear
it.
You
You'll
ever be
know it.
talking to people though, and you ask them about a Color Purple line or something, and they're like, "Oh, I never watched Color Purple." Like, I feel like
I
you
watched
would be-
Color Purple.
No,
You gotta give me that.
I had that
You
with
know?
some. I asked
I feel
somebody
like
about
you
a
would
Bad
be that
Boy line the
person
other
that
day.
If we asked about certain songs, you'd be like, "Oh, I never heard that."
Oh yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So that's what I'm saying.
What you
All
got,
right.
Ace?
Well, next, this song's come from a time when I'm going to skip to high school, middle school, high school. And
That's a far skip.
yeah, man, I didn't have much songs because if I really wanted to go down the list through songs of my childhood, it'd be too much.
Way too
man.
Way
much.
too much.
Too much
I was
weight.
the same
Everything
way.
you hear and everything like that. But this song meant a lot to me during that time because it kind of dealt with me. I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was always wondering where I belonged in life because I was a different kind of kid. I wasn't always in the sports. I was the nerdy kid, always in the games and everything like that. But Linkin Park, Somewhere I Belong. I don't know if y'all heard that song.
Nah, son.
But Linkin Park, that was one of my first
I'm sorry.
actually rock songs I actually liked because I do like a little bit of rock here and there.
I've heard of Linkin Park, but I don't know none
Somewhere,
of these
Somewhere
songs.
I Belong
I don't know
was
that
from
song.
their second album, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
That's dope.
If
But,
you're not right, somebody will correct you.
Yeah, but like it dealt with saying like, you know, I'm not gonna recite every lyric word for word, but it dealt with stuff like saying that, you know, you thought you was the only one going through these kind of troubles, thinking that I don't know where I belong, I don't know where I fit in, but at the end of the day you realize there's other people going through the same thing.
Right.
So it kind of dealt with the lyrics like that, and it really hit me heavy because it's like, you know, I always thought I was the only person going through these certain things. I was the only person who liked this certain type of things like that. So it kind of made me feel good with myself, you know,
Wow.
about who I
That's nice.
was.
That's what's up.
So yeah, that's why that song means somewhat to me in my life.
Damn, I feel like this time around we getting a little deeper.
Hey,
I like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
ready for this.
All right, for my third song,
Second.
and third. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
for
got
my
okay.
second.
You
It's
pulling two out
it's
the
two
head. Okay.
songs back, two songs that go into each other. So number 2, I got to go with Joyner Lucas, Just Like You.
Okay.
And number 3, I have to go with Royce the 5'9" Power. And
Okay.
just to explain that, Just Like You, Joyner Lucas, it's a song where the kid is rapping to the parent about how they don't want to be like their parent.
Yeah, I seen that one. I heard that
But
one.
they do want to be like their parent, but their parent is actually setting a bad, you know, precedent for them. So they
There's
don't
a really great
So
video
basically,
too, by
like
the way.
saying be better so that I can attain to be
Yes.
what you are.
Exactly.
Wow.
So the song is super deep, and I feel like that's part of that song. Joyner Lucas speaks to me in that song because to me, I didn't want to be anything like my parents. Like, you know, my wife could testament to this. Like, if you compare me to pretty much everybody in the house.
Just so y'all know, she's over there like doing like a little Holy Ghost raising of the hand kind of thing.
I mean, but if you compare me to like, you know, my brothers and sisters, not, you know, like I love all of them, but we're like totally different. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I feel that.
How
Like,
many of y'all is it?
it's 4.
Wow.
One I have it's supposed to be 5, but one of them died. But that's a whole
Strange.
nother story. Yeah. But it's 4. And out of all of us and my mom and my dad, like we're totally different. Like, cause you know, my wife's like, man, like y'all are like nothing alike. And
Night and
it
day.
comes and it comes from like my parents being the way they could. I mean, cause my mom was always busy because my dad didn't work most of the time. So my mom was always working.
Gotcha.
And I always saw this stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be nothing like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, abusive. And that's where the song Power comes in, Royce the 5'9".
Okay. Yeah,
Because
most definitely.
when that song came out, I sent it to, you know,
I remember
both.
when we reviewed
I sent
that,
it
you
to my
told me
brother
that.
and both
Yeah.
my sisters, and they were just like, yo, the Royce live in our damn house. Because in the song, like, he's talking about his dad yelling at them, being abusive. Like, you know, he has that fear in his voice when he talk. Like, and it's got this, it just makes me feel some type of way when I hear it. It just takes me right back to when I was a kid. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So those 2 songs, like my second song, my third song, Joyner Lucas, Just Like You, and Royce Power. Deep.
Can I do a bump off question? So can you take yourself back to when you was a kid? What was going through your head at that moment?
Yeah.
What was you thinking?
I just didn't want that type of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was an incident where I don't even know if I should talk about it on the podcast, but
Okay, well, you don't
I
have
remember
to-
my parents technically
Right.
getting into a fight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like me and my brother was supposed to be asleep. I mean, it happened a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just like stuff where it's just like, that's why like we don't yell at each other at all. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? Like,
Okay, Jada and Will.
and the funny thing about it, when I saw that Red Table Talk, I was just like, I didn't say that to her, but that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's like
That's what's up.
like me and my brothers and sisters, we saw our parents yell at each other every day. Every day argued about money. Every single day. It was always an argument. And if there wasn't an argument, it was only because they were drinking or somebody was high. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Deep.
I'm not trying to make it sound like we
No,
lived
I
in a
can
trap
relate-
house.
No, I can relate to that.
Oh, okay,
like, I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going I'm like you. I'm not going to tell too much
Yeah.
of my story when it comes to that either. But I can relate to that in the essence of, for us, I feel like it was a family fight.
Yeah.
Like it was whether it was my mom and whoever she was with, or my mom and her sisters, or my mom and her brother. It was always or whoever was in there on drugs or whatever, because there was a lot of things going in and out of my house when I was a kid. So I seen a lot and heard a lot. Saw a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I even saw somebody having sex on my mom's floor one time.
Oh wow.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So and I think I was in 4th grade when that happened.
Yeah.
So I can relate to that. That's what's up. I never heard those songs, but I will definitely check them out now.
Yeah, they're
I'm
crazy.
gonna see what feelings it give me. Shit.
What you got, Bang Bang?
Well, damn. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, shit.
We all hit you with the beat. All three of us hit
I'm
you.
supposed to follow that. I'm about to say Soulja Boy. I can't even say that. Y'all tripping.
He said we tripping.
Gee, what?
Hey, just go ahead. Pick the tone back up.
Well, shit, I got Michael McDonald. I keep forgetting. Because I be forgetting things, you know?
Okay.
Like, but that was like a song that I used to bump. But I got no story with that. I just like the song.
Why you keep forgetting things? You want? Oh, never mind. You're not gonna tell me.
No. I say this. Keep forgetting was like, it was different, right? All my friends was rocking that hard music, you know, and I was listening to jazz and stuff.
Okay.
But I keep forgetting it was cool. Michael McDonald had a good voice, and I can sound like Michael McDonald if I wanted to. I keep forgetting. So that was my joint growing up, and you know, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? But no story after that. Just
Okay, that's the story right there. You good? You good?
No,
You
this is
good?
hilarious. What is this? The wall?
Welcome to the wall.
Welcome to the wall.
Apologies in advance.
Right. All right. Welcome to the wall, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
What you got there?
Okay, the next one. Dang it. I'm on
Your
it.
phone
I'm on
falling asleep every single time.
No. Okay, see, I'm gonna bring it down for you. I'll bring it down,
All
sir.
right, cool.
Teenage Years was Control by Janet Jackson.
Okay.
Okay.
That was my
That was
teenage
it.
years. I'm in control. And I say that because that was actually when I was going. It is. I'm sorry. It's a little bit of a deep story. I apologize.
It's cool.
I was living with my
You're
dad
really
and my stepmom, and I was getting into so many fights and getting in trouble in school so much. My mom had just moved to Atlanta,
Oh.
and from California to Atlanta, and I remember thinking, I got to get the hell out of here. I can't do Philly no more. I felt like I didn't have control of my life, and I wanted to have control. So I was like, I want to go somewhere and start new. And that was where moving to Atlanta came in. So
That's what's up.
I can go right into my next song.
If you want to.
Because moving to Atlanta,
I'm about to
Welcome
say,
to
'cause
moving
it's
to Atlanta had its own song as well. And I felt like
Kilo
when
Ali?
I came here, no, it was Eve. Who's that girl?
Okay.
La, 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 la. And I felt like that was that sums up how I felt when I came to Atlanta, because I felt like I was that it girl.
Okay.
That chick from Philly. When she came to Atlanta, I ate that shit all the way up. I ate it up because they called me Philly. I was just rocking my style here in Atlanta, and I became the new. You know, anytime a new girl anyway come into the picture, it's like niggas always looking like, oh, who's Shorty? Ooh, but I don't say Shorty.
That's
They
how
don't
it
say
goes.
Shorty in Atlanta, but you know they say who's Shouty? Shouty,
Yeah, exactly.
or however they
Right,
say
right.
it. Yeah, but I felt that's how I felt. So that was my two. That's two songs and two answers actually.
Okay.
a good
That's
one.
cool.
I like that one.
All right. Well, next I got
Here he go. Deep.
It's not. It can be deep, but this was more because of the delivery of the songs. Eminem, Lose Yourself,
That was a good one.
and it's just like, you know, I can go deep about
Refresh
it.
my memory. How'd it
You
go?
want to
again?
lose
gotta
yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go.
Yeah.
One shot,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just like, you
An
know,
opportunity.
it can be
That
really
used to be the
deep if you
shit.
get down to it. It's really deep, but I think that was one of the first times where I started paying more attention to hip hop, because like growing up, I never really, hip hop was always in the background to me. It was just always playing, but I never really cared about what it was saying. And Eminem was like one of the first artists that I think, because of his nature, that I first started paying attention to, because, you know, he was always, his videos was always captivating. He's always saying something. But when Lose Yourself came out, it was just like, yo, the way his rhyme patterns and the way he just spits left and right. But, you know, I can get in deep to it as well. It's a really motivational song. Yeah. But other than that, the song is just like, still to this day, it just knocks.
Can I ask you how old you are?
Huh? I'm 30.
You 30? I swear to God, you look like you're 19. You don't even look like you should have a drink in front of you right now.
Dang.
I feel like we doing something illegal.
I get that a lot.
Me?
It's okay. I get that a lot. But yeah, Eminem's my next one.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, I think I lighten it up a little bit and a little bit, just a little bit. I started working when I was like 14.
Dang.
Yeah, I've been working since
I
I
did
was
too.
14.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In Philadelphia, they got something called Job Corps.
Yep. I mean, it was like a
Yeah.
program where I worked at schools like buffing floors
Yeah.
Okay.
and stuff like that. And I go off 2 songs. One, because it just played every day when I worked, so I just fell in love with it. And one, just because it explained how I felt and still feel about working. I hate to mention the guy's name, but Kanye West.
As you should,
Spaceship.
legend.
Old Kanye. Not new Kanye. I hate new Kanye.
You call Kanye a legend?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A super
But
legend.
Spaceship, the song Spaceship,
Oh,
where he's
yes.
just talking about how, if my
Working
manager
his grave
insults me
shift.
again, I will be assaulting him.
Yeah.
After I fuck the manager up, then I'm going to shorten the register up. Like, the whole song, it's just like a song.
Hey, you feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, you
feel
really
like
do.
that.
And it was just like, your manager say something, you really just want to jaw him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even want to think about it, nothing like that.
Yep.
But
Or steal.
that song really explains how I feel about working in general for other people. It's just like, this shit just sucks. You don't want to work for nobody. You kind
I
of want to
mean,
work for
you
yourself.
working his grave shift. Like, I can relate to that because I used to work third shift.
I used to work, I used
So
to
when
work.
he say you working his grave shit and I ain't made shit,
Yeah.
that's literally how I feel, you know?
Yeah, I used to work some crazy shifts, man. But the other song that goes along with that, I want to say, is Backstreet Boys, Quit Playing Games with My Heart.
Wow.
Okay.
If y'all remember that song.
Quit
Yes.
playing games with my. Okay.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much.
Yeah.
That song, I fell in love with that song. That song used to come on the radio station every day. I'm buffing them damn floors. And damn I used to be dancing around, fucking putting the wax on the
man.
floor.
Cool, man.
Backstreet
Buffing
Boys,
floors,
Quit
dancing
Playing
to
Games with My
Backstreet
Heart.
Boys,
Love that
okay.
song, man. just lighten the mood a little bit and trying to stay too deep.
Yeah, because I'm kind of trying to picture you just like,
Yeah, I was
playing.
trying. I really was. That's what my brain strictly went to a whole
14-year-old me,
illustration
14-year-old me dancing to Backstreet Boys. I didn't even know it was the Backstreet Boys back then. I was like, who the fuck are these dudes?
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Sounds
y'all,
pretty dope.
They're all the same to me. NSYNC, Backstreet,
in my head.
Hanson.
Backstreet Boys sound like in the closet. Okay.
Okay. All
okay,
right.
all right, next one, next.
What you got, Bang Bang?
All right, let's see what I got in this thing. All right, so, dang, I don't know. All right, don't judge me out here in these streets.
Hey,
But
go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. I got,
It drives me insane on my show when people start talking. Like, yo, like the mic is here. Go ahead.
so I got Denise Williams, Silly.
Oh, okay.
Silly of me to think that I
Oh, okay.
Somebody
Took
sang
me
that the
back.
other night at karaoke.
Oh, really?
How I love you. Okay, why that one though?
Man, like growing up, that's all I heard. So we had like a little karaoke machine in my house, right?
I bet
So
you
in the-
love making between y'all probably.
Man.
Scream up in that mud, man. Y'all probably have a whole.
It was crazy.
Shoot. God darn it.
It was crazy. So like in the mornings, my mom, like she'll cook breakfast and she'd be on that karaoke machine singing. Sometimes I
Wow.
get up in the morning, I sing with her, you know?
I ain't even gonna attempt that. I love that song. I took it when the cameras is on.
Oh,
La, la, la.
man.
That's my song. I
Yeah,
like that one
that's
though.
It's in my
fire.
heart.
I love that
It's
song.
locked in
Oh,
there.
man.
It ain't no getting out. You know what
I
I'm
That
know,
saying?
song
that's
is fire.
right.
That song is fire.
So your mom, how old is your mom?
She was 50.
Okay, no. Okay, let's do this. So back in the day,
Yeah.
when
back
you
in the
couldn't
day.
listen to hip hop,
Yeah.
your mom was letting you listen to like Al Green
Like old
and
school.
all of the
Like smooth jazz.
all the slapper tribes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what they. That's what I
Pretty
think
much,
they are.
pretty
They're the
much.
Slapper- that's where the slapper tribe came from.
Yes.
So that's
Okay.
what she was. Okay.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
with
I
it.
had no
Okay.
choice. That and
with
smooth jazz, like that smooth
Shout
jazz.
out to
is
moms
good.
because that's a hot song.
That's
I
what's
love
up.
it.
And shout out to Sade too. She's in my list too.
Sade, like the whole person,
Yeah.
is on your list.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so I'm jumping forward to college. College had me in my my Jadakiss Why.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay.
The Y song?
yeah.
Let me tell y'all, I went through I think five different majors, three schools for college, and now sitting in $59,000 debt for student loans. And I think I'm still singing Jadakiss Why.
I feel your pain.
Why? I had all kinds of questions of why the fuck am I here?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Like, I really could not understand what school was about. To this day, I still don't understand because everything is self-taught.
Yeah.
You got YouTube University, Google
Yes, sir.
Institute, you know,
Yes,
and listen, and word of mouth and networking has
Yes.
always been the name of the
Yes.
game.
Yes.
So I'm still trying to figure out
And
why.
just do it one-on-one.
Yeah,
You know?
like, why am I here?
That's dope.
But I do get it. I do understand. You know, college is definitely important, but for me, it was definitely just a big old question mark when I was there. So that was my college year.
I think it's important to some people. I don't feel like in general, like with the invention of YouTube, I feel like the need for, like, I went to school.
Well, if you're trying to be a doctor, a lawyer,
for certain
or
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
But I
yeah.
went to school for mixing engineering, and you can learn that 100% on YouTube. Like,
Wow, okay.
in my personal opinion, like, cause it's just too. It's long. I feel like you need to know what you need to be looking for though.
Early.
Because if you meet a mentor that can point you in the right direction, you can pretty much learn what you need to learn.
I don't think you learn that early. I think life is about the reinventing always. Like I feel like any given moment I can reinvent myself.
But the
it's about the
mindset.
journey.
The mindset you gotta learn early.
Yeah.
I mean, starting something like exposure early is better. So
That's why I don't like college though.
I mean, it
I
doesn't
feel like
set you up to
college
win.
makes you say, "What do I want to be now?" and then that's it. And I think as I'm getting older, about to turn 40 in about a year and a half, now I'm getting older and I realize life is not about this one specific destination. It's about this journey of exploring it a lot.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the why part. It's like, why are we making people go to college right out of high school?
It's unfair to take an 18-year-old kid to tell him, especially when they have not even
Pick
thought
something.
about future, and say, "Look, you're gonna do this for the rest of your life."
Right. That's
Figure
it.
out
And
right
that's
now.
it.
And it's like,
I agree.
you're not mentally even ready for that.
Right,
And
I
then
agree.
you take on debt, you take on this, and take on all this other stuff. So it's like having that stuff early, in my opinion. At least you're thinking about it because the world's gonna push you out there regardless, you know.
Absolutely.
So you figure it out. You got to be able to be swift and navigate through that mess, you know.
And that's where YouTube come in at.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna lighten the mood a little bit.
Dope.
This is not on my list, but it was an honorable mention. But I just need to
Young
bring
Jock.
some laughter. No.
Okay.
Is this that song y'all was talking about
But-
earlier?
No. This
Oh.
ain't that one. But this one deals with my first real dance. I want to say.
Okay.
You know, back
Like
when
with a girl?
you know, because I never went to dances.
Slow dance?
I never. No. Not no slow dance.
If I was picking a song for that, it'd be Tootsie Roll. But go ahead.
But
Hey.
believe it or not,
Tootsie
I didn't go
Roll.
to like an actual like dance until my senior year. I went to my prom or whatever.
What?
Yeah, I did. I'm telling you, man, I was different. But
I was different.
Different. Oh, I should have
But-
put that in my list.
Let's go.
What is
But-
that?
What? Genuine different?
No.
Oh, Two
that's
Chainz.
not
Oh,
Two
Two
Chainz.
Chainz.
I'm different.
Okay.
Pull up to the scene with my silly missus. Hey, I'm sorry. Okay, back on track. Go ahead.
But the song I vividly remember, my first, I guess you say grinding dance. I would say that.
Ooh,
Grinding?
okay.
Was Miss New Booty.
With her turned around to your
Yes.
her back
Booty,
to
booty,
your
booty,
front.
booty, rocking everywhere.
Yeah.
Booty,
Yes,
booty,
you
booty.
can tell
That was
we're from the
my
same
first
place.
dance.
Was
And-
her back to your front?
Huh?
Her back was to your front.
Yes. And
Did she touch her ankles?
I think she did.
I'm sorry.
Because I
Hold on,
remember
and, it didn't, and you ain't hear
I
no.
ain't gonna
This
lie,
is
that
for
was
the.
hot back in
This
the
is
day.
for Cash Money records for the 99 and the
Yeah.
2000.
That was
That
bad.
wasn't that.
No, this is 2000. Like
This is-
what? So
this
5,
is
4.
2006. Yeah,
Because you know he's
2006.
19, so he
Yeah,
really
you're right,
doesn't.
you're right, you're right.
I'm 19.
forgot.
Come on now. But yeah, that song, I remember that vividly. And I remember everybody around me like, yeah, G, okay, and all that stuff and everything like that. So yeah, it's cemented in my legacy.
I know that's
What's
right.
up, man?
And he just slid that in there. Who mentioned that?
Nobody.
Oh, because you said
Yeah.
honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention. So, you know, that wasn't on my list.
Nice.
I just thought, I should say that.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
now you got me thinking. Who else can think about the first time they like? For y'all, it would be had a booty up on you, and I'm trying to think the first time I actually turned around and like tooted it. I can't.
Mine was during college.
Oh, really?
During
I was
college?
taking
Oh,
L's.
I don't
Oh,
feel
yeah.
bad no more.
What was yours?
In college, like some Drake, you know what I'm saying?
The reason I'm not surprised is because he was not able to listen to hip hop, and he looks like
Okay,
he's the type
yeah.
of person to listen.
That makes sense.
You know
That
how
makes
we
sense.
was probably not allowed to do things, but we would sneak and do them anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
I
looks
was
like he
exactly.
never snuck and did it.
I don't like
Okay.
the stress in my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the stress. You know what I'm saying? Just
Gotcha.
listen and everything cool. You know?
Okay, gotcha.
Oh man, but yeah, mine was sad. Yeah, back in Drake days.
Dame Diddy don't want to say nothing.
And I had to learn how to dance too. It was
Like I
tough.
said,
And my dad taught me
you
two
talking
steps.
about
We
dancing.
understand you and your wife do some.
No. When dancing, like the first dance like that, like I said, it was like Tootsie Roll, like back in the 90s. Like cotton candy, sweet.
Really?
Gold, let me see the
Tootsie
Tootsie
Roll.
Roll. Let me see that Tootsie
Tootsie
Roll.
Roll.
Like, I used to go to all the little dance parties, the little teen dance parties.
Okay,
Yo,
okay.
you remember like red light basement parties?
Yeah, yo, man, like
Pay $1 to get in. They put a little marker on your wrist. So if you have to
Dang.
leave.
no.
Like,
I don't know about that.
They
That's-
we
that's
paid in
different.
Philly. We
That
paid
must
$1
have-
to
yeah,
get in the
that's
basement
Philly.
party.
That's Philly. Yeah, I wasn't coming up. In
Shout out
Philly.
to Philly. with the
I
basement
was
party.
I was in Georgia on Fort Stewart base, so they weren't letting that happen
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
on
okay.
base. So yeah, it was like little team parties at the rec center that we was going to, and the parent chaperones wasn't shit. They weren't paying attention.
I was scared back
So-
then. I went to them team parties, horrified. I had homeboys. I go up to girls and they look back at them and push them. I was like, I don't want that. I don't want none of that.